Hi, my name's Brian English, Wappler forum name Hyperbyte, and in this module we're just going to start preparing this menu that we started putting together earlier, and just start to make this look a little bit more like it's ultimately going to be a website as opposed to a bunch of update screens, etc. With any big content management system, we've got to accept that probably 80 to 90% of the actual code will be hidden behind an admin console. So not that much of it will be visible to the public, but it's important that we are able to generate that content before we even start thinking about putting something on a front page, because of course the data will sometimes dictate to us how we can format that information on our public screens. But that doesn't stop me at least producing a menu which we can use as a framework when we start producing the different modules that will be required throughout the course. We're always going to need a home page. That's straightforward enough, and that can just take us to the home page link, so I can just click on that. That's straightforward. This link here hasn't been set to anything. Now if you remember, we have a number of things we're going to look at. We're going to be looking at the places to go and see, we're looking at business index, we're looking at a news page, places to say, a small marketplace, a jobs, there's a what's on page. So we can just choose one of those and we'll just rename this. We'll make this the business index. We don't actually have a page to link that to yet, but let's not worry about that at this stage. And then we've got a disabled link over here. Well, the first thing I think we need to do is to undisable it. So we've got our business index. Let's look at places to go and see, perhaps. Now, we're always conscious with menus that we need to make sure that our menu will comfortably fit within the screens we want. On this, by default, Bootstrap will push it down to the burger style menu, and there is a breakpoint for that. In this case, we'll see that the breakpoint is laptop. So let's see if we can keep that menu to be displayed properly on a laptop. Otherwise, we're going to have to change that default action and have the burger menu on a laptop. So let's just add a few more nav items in there. So we're adding after, and we're going to have nav item, and I think if I remember rightly I've got about another 5 needed there, so let's just duplicate that another 4 times. Let's look at our menu items here, and we've got places to go and see, we've got our business. Let's have our news page. Let's have a look at our places to stay. Let's look at our jobs page. So let's see, we've got places to go and see, we've got our business index, we've got our news index, we've got our places to stay, we've got our jobs, and we've got our, have we got our what's on? No, we haven't. So let's just put what's on. We've actually got a couple too many there, so let's just take them out for the moment. So that's our basic menu. We can see that that fits okay within a laptop, so I'm happy with that at the moment. We've got to bear in mind that there could be a name push in here as well, though, so that might just push it over the edge. Might well be what needed to abbreviate this a little bit more, but we'll do that if necessary. I want that account to be the last on there, and amidst the very obvious one that we need to add after that is a contact us page. So we'll call that contact. So there we are, there's our menu. I'm just going to save that. Now, I don't actually like these light menus. I always think they look a bit lackluster. And if we go into our nav bar, what we'll see is there is a theming of light and dark. But those of you who have tried to use it in the past might have noticed that actually you might expect it to change the background to dark and the lettering to light, but that's actually not what happens. This theme, it actually only applies to the text within the menu. If you want to change the background of it, we simply do that by setting a background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set to dark, which means that the lettering is light, and then I'm going to ask for the back color to be blue. And in that way we've got a little bit of life to our menu bar, and that means that we can start linking our options as we go along. Regarding account, that my account link should only be displayed if you are actually logged in. So if you remember, we actually have three options in here. We have our login, we have our logout, and we have our my account. Let's hide that my account for the same time as we would hide the logout, so we can remind ourselves what the code is for that. Just so we're only going to show that when the identity is greater than 0, and we can actually just copy and paste that. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to click that link. I'm going to go into dynamic attributes. We're going to go into show. I'm going to click on the code button there, and we'll just literally click that code in. And I don't know why, but that's put it in as text, which is very irritating. That's better. So now that my account link should only show when the individual is logged in. Let's open our index page. Should have thought of that. Let's open that up. Home page, and we see the account. We don't have a my account detail. We don't have a logout detail. Only a login, because that's all we need to do at this stage. So that's just tidied up the menu a little bit. Just makes it look a little bit more like we're working towards having an actual website. And I'm just going to do a final save on that just to be sure. So that's tidied up the menu, and I think next we're going to have to do a little more on our login logout to ensure that people can retrieve lost passwords and update passwords. But after that, I'm going to jump into the confusing world of search engine optimization.